start with breaking news on the COVID-19 health crisis. Within the last hour, Oregon Governor Kate Brown ordered a statewide closure of all K-12 schools starting.
Big news this afternoon, Oregon classrooms will remain closed for the rest of the school year. Governor Kate Brown announced.
The governor acknowledged the stress and anxiety that a lot of parents are having.
March 12, 2020 was the first cancellation of K-12 schools in Oregon by order of Governor Kate Brown due to COVID-19. Since then, the closure of Oregon schools have had a variety of extensions, and now, as the 2020 to 2021 school year continues, students at Franklin High School of Portland, Oregon are still learning online. How does Franklin feel about remote learning?
Online school is stupid.
There are pros and cons. The bad aspects come with the speed we're expected to work, especially in AP classes.
I think it's just really different from normal school.
It's boring, and I feel like there's a lack of actual emotion.
I get all my education at campus, so I can't get all the resources that I want. I hate how sometimes I just have a ton of work, and then other times I have almost none at all.
And most of the time, most assignments just feel like busy work, and each assignment is just forgotten about as soon as it's done.
I feel like I'm not really absorbing any of the information, and I'm learning a lot less than previous years.
I miss people.
I feel pretty isolated during the day.
Like I never have any inspiration to do the homework, and it sucks.
So, if that's how Franklin students feel about learning online, how do the educators feel about teaching online?
So I think some of the challenges with the online learning, probably all kids are experiencing this, not just students in my class, is that having teachers have differences in the layout of their Canvas courses. It is really hard, I think, when you go to English class and it looks one way and this is how you do the assignments in English versus in chemistry, this is how you do things.
I think for my students right now, they're facing them might look different than general ed, is that a lot of teachers are putting assignments in Canvas where you have to do a lot of reading or a lot of writing. And for students who need a support class, it might be hard for them to do reading or writing. I think teachers are trying their best to give everybody a lot of information, but for a student who maybe has like ADHD and gets distracted, they might feel really overwhelmed with all of the reading and the writing that they're seeing in these classes.
And then I think the biggest thing is part of what makes a class fun is the teacher and having a good relationship with the teacher and maybe getting to see them and joke around with them. But right now those relationships are harder to build. The cons, I think, is just that missing all of that social time with people, missing out on just the everyday little interactions that happen when you're in the same building with everybody. I found the first few weeks, I felt like I was talking to myself and it was exhausting. As a teacher, the con of when you're teaching and not being able to see students. You know, we're trying really hard to keep things fun and light. And so I think just overall, I'm just impressed with teenagers' ability to kind of just hang in there and go with the flow when things aren't going well. The level of what we can present as teachers right now is lower, because if we go too high, there's so many kids that can't get there, and it feels unfair and like we're setting people up for failure. And then I think on the flip side of that, what are you guys learning that other students aren't? I think there's a lot to learn during this time that has nothing to do with your high school classes. Some of those are just life skills when we're all stuck inside or at home. How do you take care of yourself? A lot of high school students are learning what works for them and what doesn't work for them, persevering through technology issues, overcoming barriers.
I think all my students are being really resilient. I think the fact that they are able to solve problems going on right now at home with online learning and with the effect COVID's had on their families' personal lives, I think they are very resilient and able to ask for help and to keep persevering, keep waking up every morning.
You have an interesting, you're going to have an interesting group of people who grew up as teenagers during this pandemic and this time.
To put it simply, we're all just trying our best.